and you have to watch out for big logging trucks when you're on logging roads in British Columbia. They don't watch out for you. Good morning. Oh, yes, my good boy. Always gets twisted. You ready to go back to the car? Not so much? You like to stay here on the beach? Yeah, me too. The sun is finally making an appearance. Back to the car. We have plans to make and miles to drive. It's a complete disaster in the back of the Jeep. Part of the plan today will have to be to stop to reorganize everything. Step number one is just to go south, because the area we're in, you cannot go further north. It's not just that you will hit Canada, it's that there are no roads. And there's no roads going east or west to get you out of here. So we're going south and then deciding which way we're gonna go. They've got a snowplow on that old army truck. That's pretty awesome. Just stopped at that army truck for a minute to look at my maps, because I had just seen a sign for Medellin or Medellin, I think it's pronounced Medellin Falls, and 40 miles back this dirt road. So I looked at my map real quick to see what the road looks like, and it's over mountains, and it's a little dirt road over mountains, so it's not going to be passable. That's a bummer, because that would be cool. That would be a really cool back way to get closer to the border, but it's not going to happen. The Jeep is relatively free of mud. At least there's not large amounts of mud. I can't account for the entire undercarriage because there's skid plates, and I know mud gets stuck up in the skid plates, and it's just there. But in any case, the Jeep is ready to go to Canada. Let's see if Canada will have us. You guys might like an update of where we are. And where we are is in front of this adorable little Mexican restaurant in Newport, Washington. Can't find my Sharpie, so we've just got a regular pen. Hopefully you can see it. This is Idaho. This is the far north of Idaho. And this is where we camped last night on Priest Lake. And then we came back down, and from here I had a choice to go east and go into Canada via Idaho, or west and go into Canada via Washington. I was originally planning to go east and enter Canada through Idaho, but then when I was talking to the Border Patrol guy yesterday, he suggested that it would be a much prettier drive going through Washington. And you know what? He had good advice about hiking to the waterfall. Super nice guy. I trust his judgment. We are going west and north to get to Canada through Washington. And this little town of Newport is adorable. I've never even heard of Newport, Washington. And it's really, really cute. Have I said welcome to Washington? I don't think I have. Welcome to Washington. We're following the Pend Oreille River up north, and it really is pretty. I think this was a good suggestion by the border guard. I'm happy he made that suggestion. Really looks like we're gonna be getting some weather. This is a really gorgeous river, and this is just a random stop on the roadside. So I'm just stopping at random road stops because I can. And this is the Box Canyon Dam viewpoint. I just read the sign and it says this is a run of the river dam, meaning water just flows through it so they can generate electricity, but they don't hold water back into a reservoir. Let's get you over the fence. Cool train bridge. Let's see what this sign says. We are on the North Pend Oreille Scenic Byway. We stopped at this little Ione, whatever the name is, park, because they had a nice place to go to the bathroom. So stopped at the park, and it was a very pleasant little park, worth a stop, even if you don't have to go to the bathroom. So we are here at the Box Canyon viewpoint. The next one is the Eagle's Nest viewpoint, Sweet Creek Falls, Medellin Waterfront Park, and Medellin Falls. We will be stopping at all of those things. I need to dig through all of my stuff and find my short sleeve shirts and summer clothes, because it's kind of warm. It is 76 degrees outside. And as we go north, it's gonna get cooler, but it's getting more summer too, so I need some summer. I need to break out the summer clothes. That is super clear water. This is a pretty little spot. It's very nice and cool walking in this little rainforest area by the creek. It's very pleasant. There were like 25,000 people up at the little falls. It's amazing that I was able to get any video at all without all the people in it. But nice little falls. And now we carry on down the road. Just occurred to me as I'm getting closer to the border that I don't know if this border crossing is actually open on Saturdays. And it's a Saturday. I guess we'll be finding out pretty soon. Let's hope it's open. The hills we're driving over are the Selkirk Mountains that we could see from the distance when we were on Priest Lake. It's really pretty. I'm very glad I stopped and talked to that Border Patrol fellow. This was a very good recommendation for how to get across the border, assuming it's open on Saturdays. It's one of the borders with the short hours where it's only open like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we're certainly making the 4 p.m. cutoff, but we'll see if they're open on Saturday. I only know this because I read the sign, but that is Hook Nose Mountain. We're about a mile from the border, so cameras are going off, and let's hope the border is open. Welcome to Canada, y'all! I'm so glad they let me back in. Anxiety going away. I always get a little anxiety crossing borders, even though I'm doing nothing wrong. I don't have any prohibited items. I did cross the border once in Canada with too much dirt on my car, and that was a little nerve-wracking because I didn't know that that was a thing, hence the car wash before we crossed. But yeah, I get anxious crossing the border. But maybe have a new subscriber in the border guard. We'll see. And now we are heading to, oh, I forgot to put my window back up. He wanted to look back there. Now we are heading to Salmo, which is a very small town, and where I got a hotel room because I always get a hotel room for that first night's stay. And now I have to adjust myself back to kilometers per hour instead of miles per hour. I had the kilometers per hour down with my last drive across Canada, but it's gone now. Let's see. I mean, my speedometer in the Jeep has kilometers per hour on it, but the numbers are really tiny in the kilometers, so I can't read them well. So I have my phone open with my maps open, and that gives me the kilometers per hour on my phone. This is such a cute little motel. They've got murals everywhere. Old-fashioned key to get in the door. Cute little room. I already have Fluffy's blankie on the bed. Alright, you just gonna stand up there being anxious. How about if I get up here too? There you go. That's a good boy. And this hotel is neat as a pin, very well kept, and just my kind of place. It's a little quirky, but quiet, and a nice little respite. And what I'm gonna do is work on some editing and get a good night's sleep, and figure out where we're going next, because I don't know. So I think I'm signing off for today. We'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody, from somewhat overcast British Columbia. We are taking our morning walk next to this nice little river. We'll swing through the cute little town and show you the town when we head out of town. With the warm spring weather and all the moisture here and in northern Idaho, Fluffy's been picking up ticks. So he's going to get a thorough tick check before we put him in the car. He's on flea and tick meds, but it's the kind, it's not repellent. It's the kind that the tick has to bite them and then it dies and falls off somewhere in the Jeep. So I would prefer that he not have any ticks on him when he gets in the Jeep. He does have a lot of fur. It's hard to find him, but tick checks help. Hey, you keep going. I know, you don't like that floor. Now we have the whole of British Columbia before us, and we are way down here at Salmo. And we stayed in a little hotel at Salmo. Maybe it's pronounced Salmo and not Salmo. I don't know. Our goal today is to head north into this area here, which is where we will find Banff and Jasper and Revelstoke and other cool Canadian mountains, Canadian Rockies kind of places. Good boy. Good boy. You see at your bottom. I was planning to give you guys a little tour of the town and the heavens opened up and we'll do some drive-bys in the rain. Old grocery building. This old hotel is really cool. Cute little park and a sculpture of a giant Canadian penny. I don't know anything about it, but it's a big penny. I'm not running out in the rain right now to act as a scale for the size of the penny, but it's big. We are headed up Kootenay Pass, and it's getting really foggy up here. The rain has stopped, probably temporarily, as we head through Creston, British Columbia. And there's a ton of orchards and vineyards and fruit stands here, but it's nothing's in season right now, which is a little bit of a bummer. This would be amazing in summer, particularly late summer. And it's a beautiful valley with some wetlands and ringed by mountains. Really nice area. Got the kayak inspected for invasive species because you have to stop. Like, it's really illegal to not stop and have your watercraft inspected. So we did that. And that just totally reminds me that I need to find a new paddle. If you didn't see the last episode, I lost part of my kayak paddle and it made things a little challenging. Now I have no idea if I'm actually going to do any kayaking in British Columbia, but you never know. I have no plan right now. Well, I have a little bit of a plan as to where we're going to end up tonight, but that's a plan I have. And it's just based on how many miles I wanted to drive, and based on this book. It's British Columbia has a ton of hot springs, so we will be stopping at a hot spring or two. That was a little bit of a heart stopper for a second. These are windy roads and people get very impatient. We stumbled upon Moy Lake Provincial Park, and they have a nice little picnic area. And I would really love to stop for lunch, but it's kind of breezy outside, as you may be able to tell from how choppy that water is. So it's not super pleasant weather to sit outside and eat a lunch, because everything would just blow away. So we are carrying on down the road. And you are so adorable. You are so adorable. And dogs aren't allowed in the picnic area, so if we're gonna eat somewhere, it's gonna be somewhere Fluffy is allowed. Even if it's in the car. Okay, I know it doesn't look like much of anything in the GoPro, but we've just got our first glimpse of the Northern Rockies after traveling through the foothills for quite a lot of miles. And it's just this first far away glimpse through trees is pretty impressive. I wish the clouds weren't obscuring the mountains so much. Not for my sake so much, but so that I could show you just how incredibly impressive this is. It really is beautiful. I expected, after driving through a lot of foothills, for the mountains to, you just start out kind of high up in the mountains, and we're not. We'll be starting out toward the base of the mountains because they just rise straight up out of this valley. It's gorgeous. This little wetland we're walking around is called Elizabeth Lake, and it's right where you enter Cranbrook. And it looks like Cranbrook is a really cute town. We're gonna swing through it a little bit and check out the main drag. Okay, this is kind of cool, just because I like trains. This is the Cranbrook History Center. And I've got some old trains. You can't really stop, but it's neat just to drive by them. All right, cool train stuff. It would be kind of neat to take a tour of those really old trains that were in that museum, but I don't have time. But train stuff is cool. I don't know why I think it's cool. I just like it. We're headed down a logging road. It's called White Swan Lake Road, and you have to watch out for big logging trucks when you're on logging roads in British Columbia. They don't watch out for you. You have to watch out for them. But we are in search of a hot spring. This is stunning. I wasn't expecting this little road back to a hot spring, to be so stunning. They don't mention in the guidebook like, oh, by the way, you're going into this beautiful mountain valley. But that's what we're doing. Taking a moment. That's the view that I have right now. It's pretty incredible. I really want to look down over that edge. It goes really far down. But I've got to keep my eyes on the road because there's no guardrails. And a giant logging truck filled with logs could be barreling the other way at any moment. So I can't look down. This is a great little twisty turny road right on the edge of a mountain. It's a good road. It's pretty far down there. This would be one of those roads where it would be really cool to break out the drone and have the drone do the side shot of the road. But I am not, as of yet, skilled enough to drive the car and run a drone at the same time. So we don't get that shot. It would definitely appear we're not going to have the hot springs to ourselves. There's like 8 cars here. I am going to leave Fluffy in the car. It is nice and cool outside, so he will be fine. And we'll see if I can film anything down at the hot spring without totally annoying other people. Hello, buddy. There's another puppy dog who's not thrilled about being left behind. But while I think dogs are technically allowed down here, if there are other dogs and there's hot water, it's hard to keep track of the Fluffy dog. And we need to walk down this path apparently. It's not going to be as much fun coming back up this because it's a little steep. This is a developed hot spring, but it's free. It's in the White Swan Provincial Park, and yeah, it's free. Here's the river coming down, and behind these trees is the hot spring. I'm out of breath walking up that hill. Was a great hot spring. And unfortunately, I really couldn't show you guys much of it, but it's just a beautiful riverside hot spring, and I can show you the river. But there were like at least 10 people in the spring, and I don't want to invade people's privacy, so it was delightful though. But I guess be prepared for a bit of a hike. It's short, but it's pretty steep. Yeah, beautiful. And now, oh. Yeah, you ready to get to a camp spot? Now it's time to find a camp spot. I'm taking a random secondary road off of the main logging road, and we'll see if I can find a camp spot. That'll do. You can see the mountains a little bit there. I think it's time to put on actual clothes and not just my bathing suit. You're a good boy. Appropriate clothing has been donned and it's starting to spit rain a little bit, so I got the Jeep set up real quick for sleeping, got Fluffy fed. I'm just making myself a hot dog for dinner. And I think we're gonna probably have to dive into the Jeep pretty quick because I've been hearing thunder as well as the spitting rain, so it may start to downpour on us. But this is a nice little site. We have a little bit of a view back there. Mostly it's just woods. There were sites up the road that had a little better views, a lot better views, but they were kind of on the main logging road. And I didn't want Fluffy right next to the main logging road. Besides, cars are flying down that road. So, not so peaceful. This will be nice and peaceful. And I think Fluffy's happy about it too. And yeah, I think it's time to say goodnight. And I want to thank all of you guys for coming along with us. It's amazing that you're coming along with us. And if you do want to follow our further journeys, hit the subscribe button, comment, like, hit the notification button. It's free and it really does help. We'll see you down the road.